Um, the first one is how hard it is to not have that social connection in person, and how much it felt like the whole juice was drained out of the fun of going to work when you're not in person. And so and I think a number of people have made the decision to invest in the workspace to make it really attractive and really beautiful for people when they come back. Obviously, it also has to be safe, and maybe have some more open spaces. But I think really making investments in that space for people who have said, if we're going to go back, let's make that a really beautiful experience. That's lovely in terms of that social and community creation when you're together. So that's the first, a very potentially practical thing if it's possible for people. The second is, what is it that your business is going to be contributing in terms of green? And I think as we go back and think about, well, what are the things that we like? There's a number of people who haven't been commuting. That's been good for a number of reasons. And so if there are going to be days where you're going to have people not commuting, which may be good for bringing down your carbon footprint, then how do you sync that up? So a lot of very practical conversations about choosing similar days so that you can coordinate meetings and make that very practical. But I think also I'll just throw in a comment there, which is I think probably everybody wants to take a look at what their company's carbon footprint is going forward and think about, even if it's a very, very simple exercise, to take a look at that, because I think it's coming. I had a conversation with a company that I've been coaching, and we made a commitment in that area, and so they took some very practical steps. So what was really interesting was that their biggest customer decided to double their business. It's a small business, by the way, decided to double their business because as these larger companies are going to be taking a look at even their suppliers, they're looking for partners and suppliers who also have a green commitment and can because it feeds up into what they report. So it's coming, and I think it's good to get ahead of that, and it's also the right thing to do. The third thing is just this idea of connection again. If you are staying virtual, in order to make sure that everybody feels included and connected, one thing that you can very practically do is put part of the meeting into a one-on-one session so that even the very quiet people have a chance to connect one-on-one with each other, and to sort of do a lot of that swizzling, because otherwise you get into these sort of happy hour meetings where a few very extroverted people or funny people just talk and everybody else listens, and it's not really quite what you're looking for in terms of building that social connection.